Members of large animal species must consume enormous amounts of food to survive. When climatic conditions in their environment deteriorate, such animals are often unable to find enough food. This fact helps make large animal species more vulnerable to extinction than small animal species, which can maintain greater populations on smaller amounts of food.
All right. So whenever we have a most strongly supported question, one thing that we want to engage with is as we read it, and sometimes what it will ask us to do, or it's not yet ask us to do, but we have to be able to do, is can we put two facts together to come up with another fact that would also have to be true? So the example I give sometimes is like Sabrina and Aaliyah have things in, or Sabrina and Aaliyah both like Netflix and to read. So something that I could conclude from that would be that Sabrina and Aaliyah both have things in common. Like that would be supported by that statement, right? Like I put it, it didn't say that exactly, but we can conclude that from this. So here, is there anything else that we can conclude? Sometimes we can't, but we might be able to conclude from this.
Could you do like small animal species are less vulnerable for extinction?
Yeah, based on environmental deterioration. Excellent. All right, so this is a top-down question, so we tend to want more mild answers because it's easier to support mild things than strong. So go ahead and read through these and put your answer in the chat. So A says the maximum population size that an animal species could maintain on any given amount of food is the main factor determining whether that species will become extinct. What did you cross this one? Why did you cross this one off, Amani?
I crossed that one out because of the maximum population size. There's nothing really saying about their population size in a sense.
Yeah, how many there are. Yes. And what else makes this one wrong?
It felt a little strong by saying
what part of it felt wrong?
The main factor.
Yeah, we don't know that it's the main factor. We just know it could potentially be a factor. Excellent. All right, so let's skip B. Let's go on to C. All right, why did you cross C off, Elka?
I think it's because it said that basically when conditions deteriorate, no small animals will become extinct, which we don't really know that.
Yeah, no small animal, way too strong.
Yeah.
Excellent. And then why is E wrong? Who picked E? I'm gonna call you Aaliyah. Let's go over E. Why is E wrong?
It's saying bad enough. That doesn't really, it's not strong enough, I guess, to conclude.
Well, yes, we don't have, this is too strong of an answer choice too. We don't have enough support for this, where it says just because like small animals are more likely to survive, that doesn't mean that they for sure are going to be able to survive, right? Couldn't things get so bad that both animals die off?
Yeah.
So that's where E went wrong. All right, Alka, so you were debating between B and D. So let's talk about those. Which one do you, or no, Amani, you were debating between B and D.
Yes.
All right, so which one do you think is right, Amani?
Now I actually want to go back to B, not D.
Okay, so let's talk about D for a minute. Why do you think D is
wrong? B. Oh, D, yeah. D as in David is wrong because they say within any given species, but they're not talking about really that species, and that could be anything when they say any.
Yes, within any species. And what else makes this one too strong?
Primarily,
yeah, primarily means number one or the best or the most, and that's what we don't know that that's the number one way. Excellent. And then Giovanna, why is B correct?
Well, because we were talking about I chose it because they said the vulnerability of an animal species depends on at least how much food. They talked about the bigger animals needed more food.
And so Yes.
And that was just one of that was like the key to the whole argument. It wasn't the total argument, it was key. At least one part is how much food they needed.
They're not saying that it's the number one way. They're not saying it's the primary way. They're not saying it's the exact way, but they are saying that it influences. There's at least a role that it plays. So I love how mild this answer choice is. So
Yes.
we're going to go with B.